Well, it wasn't easy. It was stressful at times, pain-inducing at times, but they did it. The Rays got the W.
And that's the most important thing, right? Not the way that our anxiety got in the ninth inning, of course. So let's get started right now.
You are Locked On Rays, your daily Tampa Bay Rays podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, my name is Kevin Weiss.
I'm Ulises Sambrano.
And we are the host of the Locked On Rays podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Thank you for making us your very first listen every single day. Be sure to check out and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Locked On Rays. You can also find us on X and Instagram at Locked On Rays, and email us anytime, lockedonrays@gmail.com. We love the mailbag questions, comments, concerns, hot takes, and so forth. So do that, lockedonrays@gmail.com. Well, Ulises, the Tampa Bay Rays take down the Los Angeles Angels in Anaheim by a score of 6-4. The Rays are back at an even 500, 6-6, and the Angels are 6-5 on the year. Where do you want to start with how the action unfolded and how we wound up to this point?
I guess just to put this to rest and then focus only on the Rays, Mike Trout is stupid good. It's stupid good. I mean,
Yeah.
Dude, you should not have the quickness in those hands in that part of the strike zone, high up, to be able to generate that much power in fair territory. Like, that was an incredible, just, you said yesterday, every time you get to see Trout playing, just savor the moment. You know, he's one of the best ever. And another bomb, 6 home runs in 11 games. That makes it the fastest to 6 home runs in the Angels franchise. Like, I know we're Rays fans, but that guy is just something else, man.
He really is. And that happened in the first inning. And after that moment, a 2-run shot, I believe, no doubter. My thought was we could be in clunker adjacent territory, even despite how good Aaron Civale has been up to this point. That's just a mood killer when Mike Trout does something like that. And I might have to, I know it's too late now, but I'd have to look at how we evaluated this. The MVP coming out of the AL East this year, Judge, Soto, member of the Orioles, Blue Jays, perhaps. It might be Mike Trout's competition to lose this year, assuming he's able to stay on the field. Because, again, it's not just what he does with the bat, but a near, he basically had an outfield assist getting Curtis Mead a little bit later on, which we'll get to that moment, but that somehow, unbelievably, was overturned. But anytime you can watch Mike Trout take advantage of it, no question that he's going to have more and more years of baseball left, but this is still the quasi prime of his career at 32, 33 years old. So I'll be curious to see how he ages going into his mid 30s. Like, I still think he's going to be a productive player, but everybody has that fall off moment unless you use the old performance enhancers. But we saw it years ago when Albert Pujols, Mr. Automatic, and then he gets to the Angels and the complexion of his game changes drastically. And that brings up another point. Like, I guess Mike Trout is okay collecting his millions and being somewhat quiet in Los Angeles. But I wonder at some point in the lifespan of his MLB track, if he's like, yeah, can I just play for a winter? I don't care. I'll pay off some of my salary if that's what it takes. I will do whatever I have to do to get, to move crosstown to Los Angeles, anywhere where I can not even win a World Series necessarily, just get into the dance of the playoffs.
Just get me to the dance, It's funny you say pay some of your contract, because like I know that can happen in soccer. Like, if you just want to like get out of it, like, and they don't want to let you, you can you can pay off a part of your salary by yourself, like out of your own pocket, to just like be a free agent. So funny that you say that, because like that actually happens in other sports.
Yeah.
But in if Mike wants to win, hey, Tampa Bay will open their arms for you, Mike. There is quality food. There's great weather here. You're gonna love it. The Trop is always 72 degrees. You hit well at the Trop. So
no state income tax.
No state income tax. Mike, come on, Mike. And you know what? You'd be next to Randy, Yandy. By the way, good.
Well, depending on when that trade happens, if it happens
this season, maybe
2025, 2026, maybe not so much.
Maybe not so much. But turning it over to what the Rays did. Look.
Oh, one more note on Mike Trout, if you can enlighten me. I know, and again, this isn't the place to go if he wanted to make the playoffs, at least not in the near term. And I understand that Angel Stadium is a hitter's ballpark for the most part. That's, I guess, what the numbers back up. But imagine the damage he would do in Colorado if he had 81 home games year in, year out in a Rockies uniform. Silly. He might be to 100 WAR at this point instead of 83 or 84, whatever he's
silly. At. Yeah, that would be nuts. So Civale was the pitcher on the mound for the Rays yesterday, and you know what? He got dinged by Trout, and that was all he would let in. By
settled in after that. Credit to him for settling in, because that can be 100%. A watershed moment for many a pitchers.
Yeah,
especially in the first inning. It's like, oof, could be in for a rough day here, folks.
First inning, I mean, and already down 2-0 because one of the best hitters on the planet just took you deep on a pitch that should not have gotten out. Like, that is not on Civale. That's purely Mike Trout doing Mike Trout things. So Civale settled down. It was great to see him. And you know what? We always talked about how that trade, short term, it would hurt. Long term, it was the right choice to go after Civale.
Right.
Maybe the long term is starting this season because he has looked incredibly solid. Only allowing 4 runs this year put together. So just a really nice start to the season, which we definitely need from this rotation, because we all know the shortcomings right now with length, with quality names that we thought that we would have and are now injured. So good to see that your number 2 is putting up stats that you would expect from a number 2.
And I'm glad you bring that up. Again, Civale, solid outing. It wasn't Pepio in Colorado-esque, but not every outing is going to be that way. But what he's done through these first couple starts here has been everything you could ask for and more from your number 2. Heck, your number 1. And that brings up the point. I know it's early, but I just want to throw this out there. By year's end, who do you think will have the better numbers overall? Our number 1, Zach Eflin, or Aaron Civale, based on what, not necessarily based on what you've seen so far, because they're going in different directions, but will it level out? Will Civale come back down to earth, and will Eflin reminisce on what he did last year with the Rays?
I would think Eflin, just because of what he did last year. We can see the ceiling there. We don't know what Civale can do. We don't. He's kind of an unknown. He's never had a really a career year. Right. It was starting to be that last year, and then when he came to the Rays, it was not a career year at all.
Yeah.
So no, I would go with Eflin for that.
Okay, and that's fair. And I just want to point out to Civale, I know that maybe some people soured when he, of course, nobody wants to give up on prospects. Kyle Manzardo remains to be seen what he'll be able to do. Although I think the Rays hopefully should be in good shape at the first base position the next couple of years with the guys they have in stock already. And then Xavier Isaac drumming up a lot of intrigue as well. But with Civale, I think that going back on anybody, pitcher, hitter, whatever it is, you can't tell me it's not tough to change course and move to a new team mid-season. I think there's an adjustment period, and there's a lot of factors that go into that. And I think now that he had a full off season with Kyle Snyder, with the Rays, go back to the drawing board, figure out, all right, let's do this with your style and your pitch mix, because early on what we've seen is based on Savant, he's using the sinker more than the curve, and he's incorporated a sweeper. So we are starting to see some of the mechanics of those changes where sometimes, hey, it takes more than half a season to get along to the Rays way.
Yeah, certainly. And I think when you get from, if you move schools when you're a kid, it can be difficult to like acclimate yourself. If you're an adult and you move jobs, you move roles, like it can be difficult in the beginning to just like get acclimated. The same thing goes when you're a pitcher and they say, hey, you no longer live in Cleveland. You now live in Tampa or St. Pete.
Because again, it's not like he was a vagabond. He had been with Cleveland since 2019. That's a long time. And then one day flip the script and you're moving to Florida, bud.
And like, again, you they know that they have signed up for it. They're still human beings and they have to like, do that. So let's hope for more and better outings like that.
All right. We have much more to discuss, but first we have to tell you this. Spring training is over and baseball season is officially underway. So don't miss your chance to add your favorite players from the diamond in your PrizePicks entries, whether it's strikeouts, RBI, or first inning runs. Take your pick of more or less and add them to your PrizePicks entry today. There's also the NBA playoffs coming up. That begins April 20th. You got the play-in round, April 16th, 17th, and 19th. So a great opportunity to get on that action and win up to 100 times your money with the old PrizePicks. And PrizePicks, as you should know by now, something for every sports fan. Baseball, basketball, football, soccer, hockey, runs the gamut there. So download the PrizePicks app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB, LOCKEDONMLB, for a first deposit match up to $100. Again, I'll repeat it. Download the app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. So the Rays, this was just an interesting game from the perspective of weird things happened. And I don't know if I'm going in consecutive tangential order here, but like José Siri, a bat flip on a ball off the wall that really shouldn't have been an RBI double, but because Curtis Mead was able to deke the tag, and I guess they have some amazing high quality replay booths up in New York that Mead was called safe. I know you had just come from Colorado, and a ball in Colorado probably would have flown out, but if you're going to do that sort of monumental bat flip, it better be gone. It better be gone by 20, 30, 40 feet. I'm talking like Avi Garcia off the wild card banner.
Bro, this we all have boomer takes. Even the people that don't think they have boomer takes, they have boomer takes.
Yeah.
I don't care how boomer it sounds. I 193% agree with you. There is no way you should be doing Joey Bats, type of bat flip.
Yeah.
For something that hits the warning track.
Right.
Like, be serious. And I know it's a game, have fun and all that. And we're not saying don't have fun. We're saying don't look ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what you do. And if we make fun of it from a Yankee like Josh Donaldson did for like 2 years, where everything was a massive bat flip and he always got caught in a rundown between first and second, and we make fun of it, and we were right to make fun of it, bro, we got to point it out with Jose Siri. Like, don't do that, man. Don't. It's absurd. You have to be 100% sure that ball is going out, because if not, then you look like you fill in the blank. You look like a fill in the blank.
Yeah.
I'm 100%.
And what's funny is that moment is probably captured by the Rays, and it will be photoshopped or utilized in some sort of promo. But we'll always know that was somehow a sacrifice, not a sacrifice, but an RBI double.
Yeah.
But like you if you looked at that screen grab of that moment, you said, "Oh my God, that was a great Jose Siri home run." Nope. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It was a double at the bottom of the wall.
Yeah. So what it was an amazing display of quickness by our boy Curtis Mead, friend of the pod. Because you're right. Those cameras were definitely 4K HD, whatever it is, and they helped out. And I was really shocked, honestly, when they reversed the call. Like it is the right call, but being a Rays fan, those things they have to be so blatant for the Rays to get the call. At least it seems that way. And then when it went away, I was like, oh, okay. That's
on the
pretty
broadcast, BA was like, why are they challenging this? It looks pretty clear cut to me. And even when you slow it down, I didn't know or think that there was enough there to overturn it. But good heads up play by Curtis Mead to be able to do that and to get the hand in. I'll tell you what, Curtis Mead, shortstop, or not shortstop, thinking of other shortstops, second baseman of the future. And maybe sooner than expected. I know we're always moving on to the next thing, but we have to be realistic and honest about the salary considerations and the injury considerations and the unable to perform in playoff considerations of Brandon Lau. Curtis Mead, I think one day, eventually, whether it is next year, 2 years, 3 years from now, I think he pencils in as the everyday second baseman based on what we've seen so far. And look, Curtis Mead is a friend of the pod. We've had him on multiple times, so maybe a little bias here. But also, I think a realistic nature of, I don't see Curtis Mead as a multi-time all-star. I don't see him as a face of the franchise. I just see him as a solid cog in the wheel and a guy who puts up numbers or will put up numbers similar to 2020 Joey Wendell. 265, 270 batting average, dozen home runs, 30 doubles, and then helps you in other areas of the game. He's really got a knack for that glove side slide on grounders and popping up and making an accurate throw to first. So that's something. We're seeing some things with the base running, and he is still relatively novice to the game of baseball. Like there are still things about the American set that he is learning and getting adjusted to. And I think he will only continue to develop, thrive, and get better. And if we know anything about Curtis Mead, like he wants that. He's always trying to, he totally delves in to this game, which I think you need.
No, 100%. I mean, he's talked about, different things that make you understand the work ethic that he has as a ball player, as a human being. So very happy for him. I would actually even be bullish, man. I think this kid's an average guy. I think he's more 280, 290 guy. Like
Am I right around the home runs though, give or take?
Yeah, I mean the home runs, I think that's something that is there, but maybe either approach or hasn't really grown into his own body. I think those two things. The approach, I think, is a little bit more like kind of like not comparing the players, but maybe the mentality of Yandy Diaz and Curtis Mead is kind of like just get a hit. Like I don't need to go deep. That's just the approach they take. And also, like, he's a young guy, like you said. So there's a lot of more physicality that has to be brought in. But very impressed by him. That was a good heads up slide.
Good showing for a rookie, for sure.
Exactly. He's a very young guy and he's doing those things. So, his double play partner, Caballero, man, he's also impressing. He's also impressing with the bat. What is it? A 353 average, which is first on the team, and an 819 OPS, which is third in the team. Now, with Caballero, I understand he is no Taylor Walls at shortstop. He will make errors. And so far, he's made a few.
Oh, we saw one last night, basically up the middle, and the ball just ate him up.
It ate him up. So he's no Taylor Walls. But again, I think we've really tried to make the argument since this pod started in 2019. It doesn't matter how much you can do one thing really right and then the other thing completely wrong, and then vice versa.
Right.
What is the overall value of said player? If you put Taylor Walls and you put Caballero right now, I will take the errors at shortstop
Yeah.
because of the production that I'm getting at the plate. Like it's really refreshing. And we talked about this earlier when we had the shortstop competition episode. We were
Right.
like, it bodes well for him to get a stable position in the lineup
Yeah.
if he comes out of the gate on fire, and it'll make that decision of, do we need to bring Taylor Walls in, much more difficult for the front office.
And that's the other thing too. I think we need to give Caballero a little bit of a learning curve because he was primed as a second baseman. That's where
Yeah.
he got the majority of the action with Seattle. So I think there are some differences in some aspects of the gameplay that you need to adjust and learn and grow to. But yeah, Caballero, some of his offensive profile needs to rub off on Yandy Diaz over the last couple of games. That would help. I don't know what's going on with Yandy Diaz. That's a conversation for another day. But
Yeah.
here's the thing about Caballero. You mentioned quickness with Curtis Mead, quickness with Caballero. Caballero and Siri, when they're on second, if a ball is in play, they can score.
Yes.
A bleeder through the infield.
So get
shallow
to
drop. They will
second.
find a way. And we talk about the stolen bases and how that adds such a different dimension to what the Rays can do offensively. But it's also the threat of the stolen base that we saw yesterday with the balk and even like a wild pitch or a guy or a ball caroms off the catcher's gear and rumbles a couple feet to the side or in front. Caballero, Siri, they're running on that.
Yeah. And catching off the catcher's carrying him off the catcher's gear, that actually happened in Mead advanced to second a couple games ago. So like it's that threat of, hey, we're dynamic, we're gonna run the bases. There's kind of a drive to do so. That is just the right way to do it. And that's eBay Motors too. They've got the right drive for this sort of thing. I mean, they've got patience, they've got passion. It's just like a winning championship.
Correct.
For your car. And eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain that vehicle that you love and level it up to peak performance. They've got superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and much more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has got you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And they've got this thing called eBay Guaranteed Fit, which means that your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not Kevin Cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to make your car the MVP, the Jose Caballero of your team, and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit only. Available to you as customers.
Okay, we've gone this long in the episode, and we at least have to acknowledge the solo shot of Isaac Paredes, giving the Rays some cushion there, turning a 4-3 game into a 5-3 game. 98-mile-per-hour sinker. That's what he was expecting. He was timed up on it. He was early on it, and he deposited it. Had quite the trajectory on that ball. But Paredes, again, that's going to be the game plan. Just pull anything and everything. And frankly, he had an opportunity for an extra base hit early on in the contest. But I think Taylor Ward had a great jump. Otherwise, it could have been a double more or less down the line. But that's Paredes for you. I think that I compare Paredes to a golfer that has like a nasty hook. So he's going to set up and that's his game. I'm pulling everything. So I will adjust to whatever has to be done to generate that type of action on what I'm trying to do. But Paredes, I feel like, sometimes gets lost in the fold despite all the momentum changing swings he has and has already had this year. But even going back to last year, it's not like these aren't dumpster home runs of, okay, it's a 8-2 game and I got one. A lot of these happen in key instances of the game.
And he keeps showing his power. And I just extrapolated what he has: 4 home runs in 12 games. What is he up to, like 50 something for the season if he keeps going at this pace?
Yeah.
Like, it's really cool what he's been doing, showing that power. I mean, the trajectory of his Rays career, 20 home runs, he co-leads the team, then 31 leads the team, now starts off the gate real hot. Is it possible to think that Isaac Paredes is a 40 home run guy?
40.
He's on pace for 54 right now.
How many games did he play last year? Do we know?
136-ish.
I mean, he's going to have to play like every single game to get to 40, I think.
Let me check that real quick though, because I wanna be.
But I would, if you want to put a prop bet on it, I will take the under, or I will take 39 or fewer if you want to take 40 or more.
He played.
Because the fact that you brought up 40, I didn't. So if you're gonna bring it up, you better put it on the board.
He played 143 games last year. 143.
Yeah.
Man,
40 is just so tough to do.
40 is tough. But he already had 31, baby. Okay, 35.5. What do you think?
I'll still take the under.
Okay, I'll take that one. I'll take the over on 35.5.
I'll take the over, but Paredes, I'll take the under here.
I'll take the over on 35.5 for sure. Yeah, he looks good, man. He looks good, and they've done something with Isaac where it's the perfect example of what do you do well? Keep doing that. Yes. Oh, pull the ball. We know that you can pull the ball. Let's see what happens when you pull the ball. Oh, it's really good when you pull the ball. Keep doing that. You do that very well. I don't care. What does it matter? Honestly, a home run's a home run. So what if they're all to left field?
Yeah. Again, it's like, and that's the thing. He goes up knowing that's what he's trying to do. He doesn't try to be something he's not. 98 sinker down and in, pulling it. 88 changeup, up and away, pulling it. Like, that's what he does. I mean, every once in a while, we're starting to see a hit up the middle in the other way, but the power exclusively, the big time power, is coming from the pull side. And he's not the only guy that does that. I mean, that's kind of been a trend for some other well-known names in the game as well. So we got that out of the way. Paredes getting him his due.
Yeah.
Are you ready to DFA Pete Fairbanks yet?
No, not DFA, but my man's got to stop it. Like, please, man. Like, there's no need to play with our hearts this way, to play with our high blood pressure, to play with our anxiety. Like, just, is there a way that you can have a 1, 2, 3 inning, man? Like, please. I know you wanted to, Pete. I know you wanted more than I do. Let's just please, like, don't every game to have the damn lead runner at the plate. It's just like, I don't need this in my life, man.
Yeah, it's I mean, I'm not that confident to throw him in there right now with a 1-run lead or a 2-run lead. 3-run leads getting iffy now between the walks and the hits, and maybe it's just me, but when he was up there and sweating, like, it seemed like he was a little nervous at times, and I really hope he gets it figured out, because it's not fun to be a fan of a ball club and not have a lot of confidence in your closer when you enter that game with a lead.
Which, again, they're just at a tough spot right now, and I think Kevin Cash said, because they're not firing in all cylinders, they have to just grind it out and grind out at bats and grind out, your mound performances and all that. And I understand that. It's really, that there's going to be ups and downs with the bullpen throughout the season. It's a long season.
Right.
But when you come in with the expectations of, this is going to be probably the best bullpen that they have ever assembled, and right off the gate, it does not look anything like that, it's disheartening. And especially from your guy, like, if there's one guy that Rays Nation, Rays fandom would be like, oh, he's an automatic and he's going to get the outs, it's Pete Fairbanks.
Yeah.
So we would like to see more of the automatic and not so much of the Houdini acts, basically.
No, that's fair. And the Rays are already shaking things up just a tad with the bullpen, putting Tyler Alexander on the bereavement list for undisclosed reasons, I think it is, as of right now, and bringing up Kevin Kelly, who last I checked, they get 4 scoreless innings to start the year in Durham. So maybe this puts some life into that bullpen. Again, we kind of were wondering, hey, when and how, why and where is Kevin Kelly in the Rays bullpen? And now we're starting to see it. So maybe this elevates things a little bit. And if Pete continues to struggle, it might have to be, until he gets right, it might have to be a closer by committee approach. That's something that the Rays have not shied away from in their past.
No, they haven't, and so that could happen. I still think that it'll be some time until maybe that happens. But the biggest thing that we need to, and I know we're running long here, but the thing to see is the bereavement list. I believe it's usually like 5 to 7 days, maybe 3 to 7 days that you get there. Usually that's what people take, 3 to 7 days. Someone's on the chopping block. And
it ain't Isaac Paredes.
No. And if Kevin Kelly performs well, there is no chance in hell that you have the audacity to send that kid back to AAA.
Yeah.
So if he does well, it's going to be somebody else. It won't be Kevin Kelly taking that bus ride home.
Reminder, his rookie year at, I think, 25 years old last season, 5-2 record, 3.09 ERA in 57 appearances. So
kid's a major league pitcher. Let's go.
All right. Tonight, just real briefly, or this afternoon, Zach Littell going up against Jose Siri, Soriano. Jose Soriano. He's got a 97 sinker and a 99 four-seamer. He also has a curveball that he throws more than either of those 2 pitches. So he's got some nasty stuff. But the issue is he don't know where it's going. If you look at his pitching charts, it's all over the place. You got, pitches in the dirt, up and away, hidden batters. So maybe the Rays exude some patience. I'll be curious to see how they attack this guy for this game.
So Jose Soriano, does he do the glove flips after he gets a strikeout or something like that?
Oh man, Jose Siri. Yeah. You're fun, but you can be hey, it gives us something to talk about, which I can't complain about. He's
true.
A personality.
You know what?
Sure. But I'm telling you what, Caballero and Siri are on every opposing team's poop list and wanted list.
Oh yeah, 100%.
How they go about their business.
If you're still with us after 33 minutes, thank you so much. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. But leave it in the comments. What is your opinion when a player bat flips a majestic fly ball that ends up not being a home run? What is your take? Do you agree with us? Do you not? Why? Why not?
Hot take. You should do a bat flip after a ground ball and you advance the runner. You should do a bat flip on a 4-pitch walk. Let's expand that thing.
There you go. Exactly.
All right. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Stay safe, and we will talk to you tomorrow.